Calculus has two major branches. One is differential calculus, which deals with instantaneous rate of change and the slope of the curve. And the other is integral calculus, which concerns with the area under a curve. The central idea of differential calculus is the concept of derivative, which we will discuss here. The concept of derivative was not explained precisely until the French mathematician Fermat attempted to determine the maximum and minimum of a curve. Now, a maximum is a point on the curve which is higher than all other points near it, whereas the minimum is the one which is at the bottom of a valley lower than all of its nearby points. Fermat's idea was simple. Here in the given figure we can draw tangents at every point in the curve. Some of these tangents are indicated by the broken lines in the figure. Fermat noticed that at certain points where the curve has a maximum or minimum, such as those at the points x0 and x1, the tangent line must be horizontal. That is, it must be parallel to the x-axis. This raises the problem of determining the tangent line at any arbitrary point in the curve. The attempt to solve this problem has led Fermat to discover the underlying concept of derivative. Although the derivative was originally discovered to study the problems of tangents, it was soon found that it also provides a way to calculate instantaneous velocity. To describe the motion of an object completely, one must specify its speed, which tells us how fast it is going, and the direction in which it is moving. The speed and direction together is called the velocity of the moving object. For example, knowing that the speed of an aircraft is 500 miles per hour tells us how fast it is moving, but not which way it is moving. But knowing that the velocity of the aircraft is 500 miles per hour due south gives both the speed and direction of the aircraft. Now, suppose we consider the linear motion here. Let x0 be the position of the car at time t0. Suppose it is moving in positive x direction. Also at time t0 plus h, the position of the car is at x1. So the car has traveled a distance x1 minus x0. Now, we can write the distance as x equals f of t, which tells us that the distance is a function of time t. Here, f is called the position function of the object. So at time t0 we can write x0 equals f of t0. And at time t0 plus h we can write x1 equals f of t0 plus h. Then the average velocity of the car is given as the change in distance during time interval by length of time interval. Average velocity actually describes the motion of the object over an interval of time. Here the interval is t0 to t0 plus h. But we are interested in the instantaneous velocity of the object. That is the velocity at any particular instant in time. The formula for average velocity will not work, since at any particular instant the length of the time interval is 0. So the equation becomes undefined. So to find the instantaneous velocity we use the concept of limit. Suppose the car is traveling from point x1 to x, and we wish to know the instantaneous velocity when the car is at x0. Now the average velocity of the car from x0 to x is given as follows. To find the instantaneous velocity at t0 we will make the time interval smaller and smaller. That is, we will take h closer to 0. We observe that as the time interval is infinitely small, we get an infinitely small distance. The ratio of this infinitely small distance traveled by infinitely small time interval can be approximately considered as the instantaneous velocity at t0. In the language of limits we say, the instantaneous velocity of an object at time t0 is the limit of the average velocities, as h tends to 0, over time intervals t0 to t0 plus h. We saw that, if this limit exists, then it can be interpreted as the instantaneous velocity of an object. This limit is so important that it has a special notation. To make it familiar we replace x by y, and t by x, to get the following form. Again to give the following definition, we replace x0 by x to get the following form. Here the function f prime of x is called the derivative of f with respect to x. The term derivative is used because the function f prime is derived or obtained from the function f by the limiting process. Following are the different notations used for the derivative of a function with respect to x, and the mathematicians who first used it. Thank you.